Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Minecraft Episode 2. For those new to the channel, I am Cobble, S. Cobble, and welcoming you to Episode 2 of the New Age Minecraft world that just was created. The first one, as you saw, a world was built, and we started building a base of operations when we last left off at. And you can see that we ran into some supply issues. So while we're on break for our second episode, I went out and Minecrafted a bunch of supplies so we could have a more consistent video and trying to get more work done. Today's objectives are to continue building up the foundation for the base, and then possibly start with food production and some type of other thing. We'll see how it is. As the pattern, as the foundation expands, we're going to run into possibly more enemies and other stuff. So without further ado, let's get back into it. But yes, if you all saw our first episode, you're pretty much just starting out in the middle of butt-fucked nowhere, surrounded by fucking water. So, we have a lot of work ahead of ourselves. We need to build, food production. We still have to build some type of cover, because we are in night 2. So, more than likely, we're going to start running into phantasms, not right away, but relatively soon. But since the platform is expanding, there is a higher possibility that we're going to run into some new stuff. So to give a quick update, when we last left off, I had just started putting together the first area over there. And I dropped our supplies, we took our supplies from the boat and started putting it into a chest out here. So as you can see, we have some materials, just more foundation stuff, but we're going to continue creating at least one of the areas and get that built, and hopefully finish that up, and then we can start on the second section, and then possibly start a garden and start food production. But yeah, it was a long night, a long couple nights. Spent probably 2 hours grinding for materials because of the amount of sand and stuff we used in episode 1. So this is episode 2 for those that are wondering, and welcome. If you haven't had a chance yet and want some more interesting content, subscribe to the YouTube channel at Cobble S. Cobble. I'll also just finish writing the first episode of the FSCW for season 3. And those will be probably recording sometime shortly. But we're also going to... Today was a big recording day because I essentially had several days off in a row and had nothing planned. Then decided, because I was only planning on 1 day off, but then I was given the next 2 off. So I started doing some writing, started doing some more things, and more just building the world where we want to go with it. I have 2 not Minecraft unboxings, but 2 Magic the Gathering unboxings coming up too. I think we're going to do Neon Kamigawa, as well as possibly one of the other ones. I have currently the last 6 Fat Packs that have been released. I have all the way up until the Pyrexian Reborn, and apparently they're already dropping the next March of the Machines relatively quick, which I'm finding very hard to try and literally keep up with because of the amount of sets that are coming out crazily in the short amount of time. But I guess that's how it is, but we'll do some unboxings. And I'm probably going to live stream I also have a Modern Horizon 2, where there are possibly some reprints of the Power 9 cards. So I'm pondering on doing a live stream of that unboxing. But I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but it's on the list of things to do. So we're going to crank out a couple episodes of the New Age here in the new Minecraft world on the Xbox One. I don't play with mods because I don't have that tech level to get the cool stuff with the mods. So I am literally just playing straight survival that I increased to super difficult, because that's how I build my worlds. And I think I have I have a texture pack that I have turned off, because it was going to be a fantasy-themed texture pack. However, there was the one I had was glitching for some reason, and needless to say, wasn't being very helpful. So I decided to go back to the just straight regular texture pack. But thank you all for tuning in and checking out the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Do all those fun things you do on YouTube. Unfortunately, doing the just straight building process, I don't have a chat log up there, so I can't tell if anybody is interested or what have you, unless I'd be more conversational. But I'm literally just running on the Xbox One, and you're just listening to me talk while we are essentially grinding out our base of operations. And it wouldn't be as fast, it would take less time, but however, due that we are surrounded by water, literally 3/4 of the damn map is all fucking water. Because I took a boat out to see how much water I'm dealing with, and as you can see, the map that we have up is level 2 of the map world. And as you can see, this being the regular Minecraft world on Xbox One, the size of the map is not your standard 400 by 400 like it is in Minecraft 360. I've gone up to at least 10,000 blocks. So at the moment it's 10,000 by 10,000. Because I went for a walk. Or I should say I went for a boat ride. And went all over the place. And it got up pretty high. But as you see, our map is, even at level 2, majority of it's all water. So... But yeah, eventually we'll get into some fancy building, because I've been playing Minecraft for over a decade, and I've come up with some nice interesting tricks, some things, some anti-mob tactics, and just some interesting fun stuff that's funny as hell, like the exploding tree traps, if you want to do that, or some dispensers that walk into volleys of arrows or something like that. But yeah, well, like I said, I've been playing for a long time, so. But I don't have my Xbox Live up yet, so there's you just have to deal with me currently, because majority of everybody else they're playing Java, and my computer is, well, almost over a decade old, maybe 13, 14 years, still running off 2007, Microsoft 7, yeah, and it's literally just, it's not fast, it can't sustain the graphics of it, so that's why I have switched over to the Xbox One, just because of that. I'm in the process of possibly getting a new computer, but that's kind of a backseat, taking on the normal viability of just trying to stay with it. and keep everything going, working, and all that fun jazz. So I got a couple of craft shows coming up for it too, so I have a lot of work I'm doing in the shop as well for the business, because if some of you don't know, I the owner and CEO of Crazy Cobbles Lights and Props Emporium. I'm a woodworker by trade, so I do woodworking, wood burning, props for cosplays. I also do furniture, and I do little like lamps and so on and so forth. I take liquor bottles and turn them into lamps. There must be some serious lag going on, because that shouldn't have happened. But more than likely, I'll after the episode's done, I will do some other work to try and speed up the process. So unless you guys want to just sit here and chill and relax, listen to the music and conversate, we're the works either way. But we're still up in the air. Like I said, this is only episode 2. We have a lot of episodes and a lot of material to cover, because this is just the new version on the Xbox One. I have 4 worlds in the Xbox 360 and very different mashup packs, other fun stuff as well. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And I thank you for joining us on our little adventure here. Because eventually, as soon as we get the foundation build, we will more than likely dig up all this sand after our foundation has been sorted. So we're just going to keep I just like making it there, but yeah, so we have one of our sections done. I'm going to do just the outline of the other patterns, and then I'm more than likely going to start just working on the food production. Because even though we're not under attack yet, it's going to be relatively soon where we're going to start having issues with the area getting larger by the minute. So, but we'll keep going for the time being. But yeah, in regards to the business, I have a couple shows coming up. I'm also a manga dealer for my boss out of Chicago. So I go to those shows and vend for him. So we've got a couple shows coming up. So sometimes when I'm not going to be, I won't be streaming or putting videos up on the weekends, because I'll be at a show or work, because I work a normal job, a morning job. So usually I have the nights around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. But I'm also part of the Saber Legion of Michigan. For those that are wondering, that is we are in charge of the Michigan charter of the Saber Legion, which is a armored light LED lightsaber, or LED combat with light up swords. I'm not sure if they're going by LED sabers or what have you, but we fight in full armor in a kendo-style tournament, and we do a point-based game where the first person during the opening has first person to 10 points wins. But we're in full armor for safety concerns, and we will literally fight, and we will do, it's kind of a combination of fencing, whichever your form of sword training is, it all is useful. But we are currently meeting once a month, and we will be at Monroe Pop Fest in September as a guest. So if you are interested in joining that group, look up our Facebook group, as in the Saber Legion Michigan Charter, in the Facebook book under the same grouping, and send us a shout and see if that is something that piques your interest. But yeah, so we got one. We're gonna get two, and then we're probably gonna this episode we're gonna probably get the outsiding, the outside laying down, and then we'll probably just start putting a food production in. Because we also know very well soon that, well, I should go get a bed too. I should plant a respawn point. But early on, I'm not too worried about it. I have a secondary hiding place at my fire base that I can spawn to currently. But after we get established here, the fire base is just there for other purposes. So. But yeah, but like I said, we do a bunch of stuff. I'm always doing something one way or the other. But shows that I'm booked for this year for my boss out of Chicago is, excuse me, we have the Book Fest coming up in the Eastern Market down in Michigan, in the Eastern Market down in Detroit, in the Eastern Market. It's Sunday, and I believe in June. We're booked for that show. We're booked for the Lansing, the Capital City Comic Con, which is held in Lansing. It's a great show. I've been there multiple years. But we're booked for that show. He will be in Kalamazoo this year, or he's sending his secondary squad to go to Kalamazoo because I'm unavailable that weekend. And then after that, we have, yeah, I'm only booked for 4 shows, but it gives me time because I was booked for my first craft show for the business, but due to a scheduling conflict, we had to cancel that show. But that just gives more time to create content in this world, and so on and so forth. But yeah, we're just gonna, like I said, we're gonna do the framing to get all the frames done, and then we'll probably build a dock and food production. But I thank you all again for tuning in and liking the video and so on and so forth. I do what I can, but like I said, it's right now, after we establish our base, or the base, then we can start going out and exploring other areas. But we want to establish a base first, so this is the grinding that most of you do, and it'll show some experience for those that are trying to build a base to make yourself self-efficient instead of dying multiple times. We're going to do, let's see, we're probably going to do 3 or 4 garden areas, which will start producing us a bunch of resources. We'll find a spot here to plant some trees and some other things as well. But after we get the foundation laid out, or at least the outside pattern laid out, then we'll establish a dock. Let's go get some more sand. But like I said, then we'll start venturing out, and then probably in the few weeks after we establish a base, I will get access so we could possibly be joined by others and go on adventures and so on and so forth. Because there's a lot of content in the new world with the game updates, because this is, like I said, the most recent version of Minecraft. It has a caves and caverns update. It also has a bunch of other stuff as well. but we're more than likely here soon. As soon as we get more solid areas, we are going to probably have enemies spawning in here in the darker areas. So we'll see, wait and see how that is going to be. But as we progress, it will get more interesting and more lots to do. Yeah, as soon as we establish this area, then I will start doing the plant production and getting some of that stuff laid so we can start some food coming in. Because I have some resources that I got from when I spawned into the world, but not a lot has been established yet. And for this, I'm not going to be using my fire base at all. I will, because that is essentially a part of a whole different area, but I've been wanting to establish an actual base, because the other base, the fire base I created, is more of just a hole in the wall, and it's just enough to function to start doing other stuff like this. That's more interesting and more custom, we should say. I shouldn't say custom, but yeah, be able to build it how we want to, because one of the chaining tables and some other stuff. And some other stuff I don't have at the other world yet. Because eventually, after we establish the foundation, we're more than likely going to unbury all this sand again and dig it all out, and then dig all the way down. So I'm going to connect this last dot over here. Let's see. But yeah, I do a lot of Minecraft related. I've done a lot of there where I've been on servers. I also in charge of a server, just not here on my Java account. I have in charge of a server. I've been there, and that one I built a lot more interesting and fun stuff. Like I had built, there's a roller coaster world that literally has 4 or 5 functional roller coasters that are all redstone powered. And some other interesting stuff like that. We created a bounce house that was in the shape of a, is it a creeper? No, we just had a bounce house that we made to make it a little more interesting, and it literally functions with enemies too. It will literally bounce the enemy up as well. So that's always kind of comical, watching creepers spawning, because we don't have lighting in there, so the enemies spawn, but when they spawn they immediately start bouncing, which is comical because then they become moving targets and makes it more interesting. In my other world, I've rebuilt an entire village from the ground up. This is my 360 world. It has an entire D&D style dungeon in there that is functional to a point, but it's that's waiting for some other materials to start that one being interesting. But that's got a functional dungeon with traps and some other things that are fully functional, so it makes it even more interesting. And that one's set up for groups to spawn in and do that. But there are a few things left over that I have to do in creative that I'm not fond of doing, but to get the required items, because unless I get the proper materials in game, I can't get them. It will have spawners in there, and it will essentially work as a dungeon. So look forward to that world being functional. But we got plenty to look forward to. So, well, it looks like this episode's getting probably ready to wind up here shortly. And next episode we will start building process and a couple other things and go from there. But I thank you all again for coming out and checking out the video, like, subscribe, and some other stuff going on like that. But by the end, we should have a entire pattern laid out, and then we can start building from there. But yeah, that'll do it. We are framed. We have a 4 base area. I'll probably have to get those ships out of the water, but it'll work. Actually, let's get those out now. See if I learn how to actually make what work. But anywho, guys, thank you all for coming out, getting a look, and well, you're an unlucky individual. But thank you all for coming out again, and we shall see you in the next one. Have a good night. See you guys later.